Okay, yeah. My name is Margaret. I'm in Canada currently. So I just wanted to talk about Canada or living in the diaspora, the life of diaspora, especially the financial situation that you find yourself in Canada, or this is the only country I've lived in besides in Africa, and I've lived in South Africa from having grown up in Zimbabwe. So I'm just speaking this in the perspective of what I have noticed having lived here not long enough, but having had the opportunity to observe what is going on here and the pros and cons of living abroad, you know, or the delusion that we people who live abroad end up having. The first thing I observed having come here, because when you are coming from Africa, you come with them. This is my own opinion, my own experience. I might be wrong, and I stand to be corrected, right? Everything that I'm saying is according to the glasses that I wear, how I see the world from my experiences and my background. Things might be different, but this is what I've seen, and I just thought maybe let me just say it out, and a lot of people can learn from the experiences that I'm learning. I might have been ill-advised, or maybe I saw things because I'm still new here too. So my views might change. The way I think about things might change, but this is how I see what I see here. And yeah, it is what it is, right? The first thing I've noticed here is that people are living a fake life. People live, or maybe it's because we are around white people, or our environment is around things that we have never been exposed to. So people tend to want to do things more. I don't know. Yeah, there is a lot of fake life, fake feelings, fake, everything is fake. You cannot even have a proper conversation with somebody without having you becoming another person for you to be accepted. So that's one thing I noticed here, that a lot of people are fake in everything that they do. They end up not even knowing who they are, because they paint themselves into this picture that in the end, they themselves, they don't even know who they are. They laugh at jokes that they say things that maybe in their own home, they don't even believe in, but they end up being passionate about them. So those are some of the things I've noticed here. And another thing is that here, there's a lot of loneliness. I don't know whether to say loneliness, but I think it emanates also from this thing of being fake, that people don't want to open up. So people don't want to show you their real selves, that it's easy to just end up isolating yourself to avoid being exposed or being seen for who you are. So you are not able to even have a genuine relationships, because everybody is out to get you, right? They're out to, especially if you're new in the diaspora, they think you're stupid, you're ill-advised, you don't know. Like they think that you will balance. So that's another thing that they think you're stupid or something. Like I said before, this is just my opinion, and I wouldn't be bothered anyway. Another thing is that information comes very difficult. I think, or maybe it's the environments I was in back home, but here people hide information. A simple thing, a person will not even tell you how they got a job. They won't even tell you how they got their papers. They won't even tell you how, even where they are staying, did they buy, or they don't communicate, even like how do you buy a car, where do you buy. So information is very difficult to come through here. You have to investigate information, even if you're around people who would share the same information. It's amazing because when it comes to like other people, like white people, they actually even create a video, you know, to show people steps to say, if you want to get what would you say? If you want to get a student visa, this is what you do. Go on to this link and do this and that and that and that. But our own people, they are not willing to do that. You know, they are not willing. We are not willing to share information or to say, like for me, having gone through this whole immigration situation that I found myself in, there are now loopholes that I know that. So for kids in Africa who want to come and be educated here and do a school, that is the best entry point to come to a foreign country. If you choose to come to a foreign country, we choose to do the shortcuts like hide and seek and all the other things, but there are other better avenues, easier avenues that a person can genuinely come here and find a place to stay and start a new life, especially for the youth, for the young, you know, through education. But no, we don't talk about that. We rather talk about dresses, about shoes, about human hair and all the other things, other than the most important things of how do we get better, what are you doing that can, you know, things like that. But no, we rather gossip. That's another thing. The other, what other thing would I say is a loophole here? Finances, you know, here you can get money, you know, you can get money, though it doesn't come as easier as people back home think you are. But people here are kind of wasteful, you know, maybe because the money comes easy or it just comes erratic. It's not as like month end or all the other things, but people tend to be very wasteful and they'll rather incur debt than to invest money. That's why there are a lot of people stuck here, not able to go back home. Why? Because they've just literally abused the money. There is no money. Why? Because there is lack of money management, or there are no people who are advising people on the best way to save money. And saving money does not mean that you need to save $500 or $3,000 or what. Saving $200 over a period of every month, like $200 or $100 over a period of 20 years can do wonders for your retirement, you know. So that is one thing I've also noticed, that people here, they don't know how to use their money wisely, you know. That's why people back home on a meager salaries, they're building houses, when here an old woman who has been working for the past 20, 25 years is staying in an apartment, you know, staying in an apartment where you ask yourself, what have you been doing in the past 20 years? Obviously, they've been working, you know, somewhere, somehow. This is an economy where a good economy, so they should have been working. They should have paid off their houses or something, but it's very rare. Rarely have I found. In fact, I am yet to find somebody who I met here who has paid up their house, or who can say I've paid up my apartment. You know, I own an apartment. I'm still to see that person. But most people talk about, I want to send money home, or I did this, I do that. They say bloom where you are planted. If you cannot invest in the economy where you are living, where you know very well what is going on, what gives you the confidence on investing in an economy where you yourself, you don't even know what are the most successful companies going on there? You rather buy a home here and then use the income that you get from that property here to live back home, and for the rest of your life, even your children can benefit from that investment income that you can buy a property here. So these are just my observations, you know, these are just my observations, and I might be new here, maybe I might be associating with the wrong people, but this is what I have experienced so far. And lastly, all I can say is that, yeah, it's an advantage to be here, especially for the future generation. But we also, when we get here, we undermine ourselves so much. We stoop so low, not knowing that even back home where we ran away from, if we were putting the same effort that we put here, I think things will be okay. We mustn't think that, I mean, the more we run away from home, the more we come here and do cleaning, the more we come here and take care of 100-year-old grandmothers and do that, when we should be doing other investments back home, you know, because we still are intelligent people, we still have you know, resources. So we need to also stay away from that thing that you can only make money in foreign countries. You know, you can only live a better life in foreign countries. You know, when I came here, that's when I realized the power, you know, the power of Africa. You know, there are a lot of things that I did not have time for. I did not want to look into. I was not even interested, you know, like gold. I don't even know. Wow, I know there's gold somewhere, there's diamond something, but we are not interested in those things. We know Africa is full of resources, you know, timber, even just farming, you know. All we want is to stay in the urban areas, you know. The people here in Canada, who have money, they own ranches, you know, they own ranches, they don't stay in town, they stay out in the outskirts of town. So those are some of the things that I saw here that I never ever thought about back home, you know. There are a lot of things that when I look back now, you know, I said, wow, I was actually living in the gold mine, but I never noticed it. And now you come here in a barren land, and what must you go through? You go through having to do the least. You are competing for a job with a child who came from a secondary school. So this is what I had to say, and I'm still going to talk more about the life here, that is not as rosy as people think it is. And I think people need to wake up now and start living a better life, investing themselves well, and being part of the investment, part of the economy by investing in it, not only working and consuming and going to the mall, and the only time you go to the bank is to borrow money, you know, is to borrow money, not to give the bank to make money for you, or for your money to make money for, you know, things like that. So I hope you had something that is of worth, especially when it comes to saving money, and be mindful about the way you consume, you know, how you consume your money, and know that time flies. Before you know it, you can be 65 here in the diaspora. But what are you doing with the money now to make sure that even if you turn 65, you are able to go back home and your money will still be working for you here in these economies? Because these economies have been going on hundreds of years. You need to be part of it, and you can be part of it. And that's all I'm going to say. Thank you.